to my cottage in Port Sunlight. I've got a really easy, healthy recipe for you to make today. This is called our Sunlight Slaw, and a lot of the ingredients have been grown here in Port Sunlight on my allotment. This slaw is crunchy, it's tasty, it's a really good accompaniment to many foods. Jacket potatoes, with the salad, with fish, with meat. You can eat it any way you like. And it's going to look a little bit like this. And as you can see, it's got this beautiful deep pink colour. So what we're going to use for our Sunlight Slaw today is I've chosen to use red and green cabbage. If you prefer just to use red, you'll have a deeper colour to your slaw, but I'm using half and half. So I've used about a half of a red cabbage and half of a green cabbage, which I've grated quite coarsely and put it into these bowls here. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to add my red cabbage and my green cabbage into my bowl and give it a little mix together. So the beauty of this recipe is it's no cook. You can make it really easily. You can leave it covered in the fridge for a couple of days and keep going back to it, but it requires no cooking. They're all raw ingredients. And another fabulous thing about this recipe is you can use things that have been in your pantry that maybe don't look so good as when you first bought them, like a parsnip or a carrot, like I've got this carrot here, which was bought last week. And you can grate any of these root vegetables into this slaw and add to them. I've chosen to grate one quite large carrot, so I'm going to add that also. So I'll just show you how this is all mixing together now. We've got the beautiful colours of the carrot and the red cabbage, which makes it a really attractive dish to put on your table. I've also got some of my onions in store. And this is one of my red onions, which I've sliced really finely. I've left mine in quite large rings. You might like to chop your onion. And again, I'm going to mix that well into my cabbage and my carrot. And already I can see that I'm forming a lovely crunchy texture to this. And as well as it being healthy, it's going to be very, very tasty. I'm going to add about a teaspoon of salt and some pepper, just to season the recipe. This is all personal choice. You can add more salt or more pepper if you wish. And just make sure that's all mixed together well. I'm going to use a bit of grated lemon or lime zest. And this gives it a real kick and really lifts this slaw recipe. So I'm going to do a bit of lemon and a bit of lime. Now, as well as the zest, I'm going to use just a squeeze of lime. I'm not going to use the whole of a lime or even half, because it will be a little bit too much and it'll be quite overpowering. So I'm literally just going to give it a little squeeze like that and mix it all together. It's got a beautifully citrusy smell now as well. The next thing I'm going to add is mayonnaise. And I've made this mayonnaise by using a whole egg. Incorporated into the whole egg is some mustard. And I know that's not to everybody's taste, but the mustard does help to stabilise the mayonnaise. I've used some lemon juice. Again, it helps stabilise the mayonnaise. And I've used an oil that hasn't got a lot of flavour. Something like sunflower oil is ideal. You don't want an oil that's too strong, because it will take the flavour of your mayonnaise. So I'm just going to add that in now. Incorporating the oil very slowly into your eggs and mustard and lemon juice will ensure that your mayonnaise is really creamy and holds together. It doesn't start to separate. So you've got all those lovely flavours of lime and lemon zest. We've got the colour given by our carrot and our red cabbage. We've got the crispness of the onions. And now I'm just going to add about a teaspoon of paprika. Just put that over there. and also a teaspoon of cumin. If you're familiar with Indian cooking, this is a spice that they use very much in there. Really easy to mix, very soft, but it's going to stay nice and crunchy. There's lots of things in there that are going to give this a nice crunchy texture. But I think it's also nice if you've got anything like pumpkin seeds, which I'm going to add. I'm just going to add maybe a couple of handfuls of pumpkin seeds into there, and that'll give just that little bit of extra crunch. Now all I need to do with this is cover it and leave it in my cool place, in my larder, on my cold shelf. You can give it a little stir every now and again just to make sure it's incorporated. And when it's ready to serve, instead of giving it out in the big bowl like this, I like to put it in a lovely little glass dish. It makes it look so much nicer. I hope you enjoy this recipe that we've made today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Goodbye.